It's the one you've been waiting for, the United States and England. John Strong, Stu Holden with the call in 60 seconds.
Good morning, America. Rise and shine. All across the country, we're getting up early this year.
Here are the players that are going to play this thing out tonight.
Well, Gareth Southgate naming an unchanged team for the first time since 2018, the World Cup semifinal, a game that they lost. He goes with the same back four, which means that Trippier will play on that right-hand side. You're going to see Jude Bellingham, number 22. Look out for him. He is a danger man in the middle of the field. He'll make late runs into the box. Front three, incredibly talented, but it all circles around Harry Kane, their leading goal scorer, 51 goals for his country. And for the United States, Greg Berhalter, just the one change for them, and it's a surprise one up top. Haji Wright, his fifth cap for the U.S. and just his second start. The midfield is the engine room of this team. That is Tyler Adams, Yunus Musa, and Weston McKennie. It's going to be their ability to get pressure on the ball that will dictate if this team can have some success.
Can this be Christian Pulisic's night? He's been the face of this team since he was a teenager. And it was 239 years ago today, November the 25th, 1783. They called it Evacuation Day. British soldiers' final retreat from New York City. George Washington leading a triumphant march down Broadway. One of the final acts of American victory in the Revolutionary War. And as England players continue their statement promoting equality and against racism and discrimination, we are underway. It is the United States wearing blue. It is England wearing white. It is the second of 3 games for both of these teams here in the World Cup group stage. U.S. phenomenal first half, led at the break, couldn't close out the win. On Monday night against Wales, England has 6-2 thumping, one of the biggest wins in their World Cup history against Iran on Monday. England can clinch their spot in the next round with a game still to go if they are to win. For the United States, whatever happens, they know going into that Iran game on Tuesday, win and you're in. Different scenarios based on what sort of a result they get tonight and whether a tie might be enough. But as Turner slices that out, we can talk all we want about standings and scenarios and permutations. It's England. It's a World Cup. That's all that matters.
And one of the things I've noticed very early in this game, we expected the United States to be in more of a 4 defender, 3 midfielder, 3 attackers. They're actually playing with just 2 up front. So they're playing 4-4-2. Haji Wright being one of those, combining right there with Tim Weah. And you've got Weston McKennie, who's on the ball, playing out on that right-hand side. So Greg Berhalter changing his tactics, almost the 2 strikers combining there.
What's the ideal benefit of changing the formation in that way?
What they're trying to do, certainly defensively, is having 2 players right up against the 2 center defenders for England to get pressure on them. They feel that might be a weak spot and that they can win the ball back. They've got the solid lines defensively, and we'll see in the attack if that pays off, having 2 guys constantly occupying those center backs for England.
First foul whistled tonight by Jesus Valenzuela, turned 39 yesterday, our referee from Venezuela. Gareth Southgate managing expectations as the favorites coming in. He reminded everyone yesterday, we've never beaten in the U.S. in the World Cup. Hope to try to make history. And he hit the nail on the head when he said, We're good at talking highly of ourselves as a nation without evidence. So we need to perform. Greg Berhalter on the other side telling us yesterday the team hotel first half against Wales is really good. We had them when we wanted them. We just got to score that second goal. All in all, it was fine, but England are a different caliber, and they provide much bigger threats. McKennie for Tim Weah to chase. The goal scorer from Monday, cleared out by Harry Maguire. Haji Wright's first touch, as he was the surprise starter in the lineup. McKennie thought that was going to be a U.S. throw, and it's England's. Sterling pressured, poked away by McKennie. Bellingham coming to help. Dest pokes it away. It's Walker Zimmerman directing traffic. Christian Pulisic on the ball for the first time tonight.
Yeah, they are trying to spread the field now. The United States getting a lot down this left-hand side. Anthony Robinson, who plays his club soccer in England. I think that'll be an English throw there down in the corner. The United States not dropping off, so you wouldn't expect that when they win a throw-in down in that corner, but they're stepping up their pressure. They're going to look to try to win it up in England's defensive half to get that ball back quickly.
Anthony Robinson, one of 5 American starters to play in England, one of 2 American starters to be born in England, along with Yunus Musa. A lot of familiarity, a lot of bragging rights, a lot of emotion at stake. Here for Harry Kane, 2 goals behind Wayne Rooney for the most goals in England's history, and he's hauled down by Yunus Musa.
So part of what the United States are doing defensively right now, they're allowing the center backs for England to have the ball. They're the players you want to try and beat you because they're not the best passers. But as soon as that ball makes its way up the field or it goes wide or to one of the center midfielders, they're going to look to close it down. Look how narrow right now the 2 strikers are. They don't want the ball going to Declan Rice because he's a player that can turn and pick you apart. They're completely okay with England having the ball deep in their own end right now, just passing back and forth between center backs.
Maguire errant for Luke Shaw.
Yeah, that's a perfect example. Harry Maguire gets a little impatient. They've had some possession, doesn't have real pressure, tries to play the pass out wide to Luke Shaw, and it goes straight out of bounds. United States win back possession. So England's challenge is going to be when they do have the ball in those spots, can they either go direct over the top of the pressure for the U.S.? Can they get runners into the channel like Saka and Sterling with their speed? And then can they find Harry Kane underneath behind the U.S. midfield to then turn and play some of those passes?
Way up, McKennie, Haji Wright. Also trying to get that away, a bit of a touch, but it's going to work for Anthony Robinson. Tyler Adams, the U.S. captain, under some pressure. It looked like it bounced off him last, and it did.
Did you hear Gareth Southgate there saying 4-4-2? So he's noticed and is communicating to his players now on the English side the shape that the United States are playing with. It's just 4 defenders, 4 midfielders, 2 strikers. They're flexible within that system, but that changes you as a coach in how you're game planning and potentially want to try to break down the opposing defense.
So trying to run. Robinson. Ream resets for Robinson. Saka defending him. Robinson, can he catch back up to that touch? No, it's out. Adams trying to catch up there as Kane opens it up to the far side for Luke Shaw. Sterling wants it. He was clapping his hands, wanted the ball. Here he is now.
Well, that plays in the United States' hand. They had the open field there. It was a great throw from Trippier to find Harry Kane. He turns out wide, sprays the ball out to Raheem Sterling. Too late, though. It allowed the United States defense to get back and get into their defensive shape once again.
It does feel the proverbial boxing match.
Yes.
It's just two,
I was thinking
two
the same
dudes
thing,
here just feeling each other out, getting a sense of it. And that's testament to the U.S., I suppose. Throw a little bit of a wrinkle in it, making England have to think about this thing. Trippier going long, trying to get Bukayo Saka on the run. Robinson tracking it, just knocks it out for a throw. Jude Bellingham, 19 years of age, was the first player born this century to score a World Cup goal for any nation. He was one of the 5 goal scorers for England. That 6-2 win against Iran. Bellingham goes down in a heap.
Man, Haji Wright getting tangled up with him.
And they're both slow to get to their feet.
No foul was whistled, so they're going to keep playing.
And that was the second biggest win in England's World Cup history, their biggest ever in an opening match. And the confidence is flying high for them. And here they come, Bellingham on the ball, Ream backing off. Cut back into the middle, and just a touch there, it looked like, from Walker Zimmerman. Denies Harry Kane out for a corner.
Well, there's the incisive passing from England and the movement off the ball from Jude Bellingham. That's the man you have to watch. And Yunus Musa in the middle there falls asleep for a second, and he runs in behind. Tim Ream doing a good job anticipating, getting some pressure on the cross from Saka, and then it's Harry Kane. That's the guy they want, but Walker Zimmerman, step for step, doesn't go down early and gets his body in the way, deflects it behind for a corner. Now, this is an area where England can find an advantage on set pieces. Great delivery comes in from Trippier. They drag some numbers to the front post. That'll be Sterling and Rice, and they try to open it up for the 4 around the penalty spot.
Trippier into the middle, knocked down as Stones was rising up. Maguire tried to chase it down. Weah got there, it's still in play. Maguire running in, the center back rides the bump. Still Harry Maguire off balance, stabbed away by Dest. Fired back in and comfortably into the stands, and the threat is over.
Oh, there was a quick moment there, wasn't there? Harry Maguire gets inside, and there's a bit of contact on him. It's outside the box to begin with, but he's off balance. It's Tim Weah down in the corner. Now, here's where he just pulls out of the challenge because he doesn't want to make a foul. And then Tyler Adams tries to anticipate. Harry Maguire sees that. He comes inside. There's a dangerous chance for England, but the United States, again, just able to get a foot on it and clear their lines through Serginho Dest.
You heard our studio crew and Landon and Clint, Carly, Alexi talking about young men and women sitting on their couches watching this game, being inspired. That was Matt Turner at the 2010 World Cup, a high schooler, dreamed of being a baseball player. That 2010 World Cup, the game against England, changed his dream. Started playing soccer regularly, focusing on it full time. Now here he is in goal for the United States against England at this World Cup.
Now, challenge for the United States defensively at times is the system that they're playing here, the 4-4-2. You're not always matched up directly against another player. So you're marking space and you're marking passing lines. So it takes a lot of communication, especially when you're playing a team like England where the attacking players are interchanging. Sterling comes inside, then Mount goes wide. On the other side, it's Saka and Bellingham. They're just constantly doing that. So watch the United States midfielders. They're going to have their head on the shoulders, looking over, trying to see where they can cut off passing lanes at times to keep England pinned back a little bit deeper.
Well, had Mount running. Comes to Sterling instead. Able to wriggle away from Serginho Dest. Kane drops in to find space. Opens it up. Intercepted by Robinson. Under pressure, though. Forced to just hack it away. Trippier taken away by Musa. Can the U.S. keep this and build something out of it? Robinson stepping in there on Bellingham. Good work by Tyler Adams, the U.S. captain. Now Musa. Zimmerman in between options.
Yeah, they've been wasteful with the ball, the U.S., and it's just allowing England to win it back. Here they come on the attack.
Out. Fronted by McKennie. Back for Raheem Sterling. Bellingham wants it. Moves it further along for Trippier. Pulisic comes to meet him. John Stones, the center back. He's back out wide for Trippier. Robinson coming to meet him. It's going to be rolled in instead. Saka deflected, cross up in the air. Kane trying for the overhead. McKennie got a body on him. Adams hooks it away, but the U.S. under some real pressure right now.
They are. They're getting forced back deeper and deeper. You've got to try to squeeze your lines up and get some pressure on the ball. No time, too much time and space for England wide. Their movement off the ball has been so good. So unpredictable. Runners slashing beyond the back line and just dragging the United States apart defensively and opening up some gaps. Here it is again.
Trippier once again in for Saka. Ream is out to defend him. Poked away by Trippier. Turner can come get that and does. Matt Turner, who had 2 saves Monday night, the huge one on the header. He got a hand on the penalty as well that Gareth Bale scored a tie, and Robinson just kept that under control. Test by Sterling. Ream for Robinson, teammates at Fulham in the Premier League in England. Zimmerman, well, it's going to work in the end for Tim Weah.
That's the second time he's tried that one, Walker Zimmerman. It makes me believe that Greg Berhalter wants that quick diagonal out to the opposite winger, because actually Tim Weah goes wide in the build-up when they have possession. It goes out to that right-hand side. He's just mishit the pass twice, and it's gone straight back to a white shirt.
Quarter hour gone in front of 60,000, a majority of them England fans at Al Bayt Stadium in Al Khor, Qatar, the northernmost stadium here at this World Cup. Sterling back for Saka. Luke Shaw advancing up the left. Dest comes to meet him. In for Raheem Sterling. They're backing off and didn't have anyone on his back. He turned it back for Shaw. Dest trying to play the angles. In the cross comes and all the way through to Matt Turner.
I saw the possession numbers heavily tilted in England's favor, which the game shows. The U.S. have been unable to get out in transition, although that's a great run by Anthony Robinson to get them up the field.
Pulisic with it now. Greg Berhalter said it was a huge key. I need guys that can run. Offensive transition's going to be huge. Here's Weston McKennie. Dest will overlap him. McKennie crossing in for Haji Wright, and he couldn't turn that one on frame. First shot of the night for the U.S.
That's what they're looking for, though. Good breakout initially by Anthony Robinson. Then as the ball goes wide to McKennie, watch the overlapping run here. It comes from Dest. That forces then Luke Shaw to back off and give him space to put that cross in. Looking for Haji Wright. It's a tough one just because it's behind him. He's trying to redirect it towards the goal with any type of pace to take it past Pickford. But that's an encouraging sign in a transition moment there for the United States.
Haji Wright on just his 4th ever appearance for the U.S., his 2nd ever start, got his debut in June. On the field from the start tonight as Zimmerman able to nod that back to Turner. In for Robinson. Berhalter wanted him to run. And he just loses it out there. Saka's pressure picked up by Trippier.
You're right. Saka's doing a good job dropping deeper and making sure he's step for step with Robinson. He doesn't leave him 1v1 with Trippier.
And Musa committed the foul. Twice now the USA chants have been very quickly drowned out by boos and then the England chant.
There's a lot of English fans in here.
And a misplay by Kieran Trippier. And that's kind of to your point. England can have the ball all they want in those sorts of areas.
And Greg Berhalter down to our right is really trying to communicate some tactical instructions. Specifically, it looked like to Serginho Dest. He wants him rotating over. I just think defensively, they're rotating too slowly. And then when Anthony Robinson, the left defender, he releases and goes to step, it leaves a big gap behind him.
Harry Kane added to all he can, but the strength and the size of Kane gets it in for Saka. Bellingham into the middle, Musa there to meet him. Poked it away, no foul. Pulisic first to the loose ball. Couldn't take it cleanly, gets it away from Musa. How about that silky turn? Bit behind McKennie, but he'll send Serginho Dest forward, right, furthest in the box. Dest trying to cross for Weah, it was blocked. Yunus Musa first to react. The captain, Tyler Adams. Pulisic now driving inside. Great recovery by Weah. Back out for Serginho Dest. His cross into the middle. Too tall for Pulisic, and Pickford's there.
Better ball. It's got to be a better ball in from Serginho Dest. Best move of the match. The United States, they get Pulisic playing on the half turn, able just to get that first touch facing goal. They get it wide, he's got time, he's got space, and just can't find Haji right in the middle of the box. It goes straight into the arms of Pickford.
Let's hear more about the youngest American captain in a World Cup since 1950. Tyler Adams with Jenny Taft down on the field.
Well, it's interesting, John, because Greg Berhalter allowed his players to decide who do you want to represent you at a World Cup. No surprise that Tyler Adams was the guy, and we caught up with him yesterday, and I said, is this a dream of yours to be a captain for the U.S. at a World Cup? And he said it wasn't necessarily to be a captain, but I always wanted to be a guy that people wanted to follow. I have that competitive edge. I believe in these words, pressure is a privilege. And no doubt, yes, he's young, but Tyler Adams is the perfect example of a leader of this U.S. national team.
23 years old from Wappingers Falls, New York. He was a professional as a teenager. Even when he was a teenager, he was a grown man, and you could tell from the minute he debuted at the New York Red Bulls, he had this in him.
He's got a presence to him, that's 100% certain. And in the last game, the highest player behind him, the number of tackles they had was 2. Tyler Adams had 6. He had second most touches on the team at 86. He is at the heart of this team. It's a little bit of a different look for him today, though. When he was playing as the only defensive midfielder, he could kind of go around and cut off passing lanes and cover for guys. He's in a 2, so it means he's marking more of space as opposed to men in this type of game.
Stone's trying to fire that one in. It's a good touch by Bellingham. Mason Mount trying to do something, and Adams was only able to knock it away. Best chance England have had so far, that hurricane shot that Walker Zimmerman, the two-time MLS Defender of the Year from Nashville SC, was able to get his body in front of. Kane having to come an awful long way back, and he's tussling with Pulisic, who throws a little shove at him.
You see Harry Kane, the goal scorer, this is the other part of the game that he does so well. He uses his body, it's his hold-up play, and his passing is such an underrated part of that. As that lone striker, he comes underneath, and then he brings other guys into the play.
Trippier able to control that heavy first touch, skips around Robinson. Good tackle by Musa. Force England right back out. McGuire going long, Sterling on the end of it. Dest is the defender. Great first touch by Raheem Sterling, going to run up Serginho Dest. Sterling into the box, couldn't get through, it's deflected loose. Ream stamps it away as far as Rice. He couldn't take it cleanly, and he's forced backwards. It goes for Saka to chase. Robinson bodied off it. Saka runs out of room. Anthony Robinson, born and raised in England. His dad grew up in New York and a U.S. citizen.
You see that stat there? That's the stat I was referring to with Harry Kane. Total receptions between the midfield and the defensive line. That's that pocket underneath that the U.S. are trying to block off those passing lanes. He just continually finds a way to get the other side of you in your blind spot, picking up the ball, turning, and bringing other players into the play.
It's interesting, one of the things Greg Berhalter talked to us about before the Wales game, he said just you have to treat every play like it's the most important of your life. That's the magnitude of a World Cup. There's moments where it's easy to lose your concentration, think it's easy. As Pulisic was fouled, advantage played as he finds Weston McKennie. Hands it back for Weah, the goal scorer Monday. Able to wriggle his way through. Tyler Adams now, numbers up for the U.S. Here's Dest. McKennie opening up wide. Wanting to drive in, he finds Yunus Musa. Musa turns, no cross, back out for Dest. Chance for Dest to get it in. Back it comes instead for Weah. Weah's cross on the deck, and it's McKennie who missed it.
What a chance. What a chance. He knows it. So patient, the United States wide, and they have a numbers advantage. They created an overload over there. They were just working, waiting for the perfect opportunity to put the ball in. Comes back once again, then Tim Weah has it. He picks his head up, puts it into a good spot. Trippier had dropped deep, and Weston McKennie bounces right before he takes it. So he's trying to take it on the half volley and is leaning back. Instead of getting over the top of it, just hit the target. Best look of the game for the U.S.
A shot across the bow of England. Kane trying to turn on that one. Anthony Robinson. A little hip feint there to send Saka going. Now, can he get back to that ball shoulder to shoulder? And it's going to be out for England throw.
No, it's not a foul. It's not a foul. Good work from Saka. Good strength. Just goes shoulder to shoulder with Anthony Robinson. Gets a body on him, pushes him out of the field, and the ball goes out for a throw. England in possession.
McGuire long for Shaw. Unfortunately, just nodded forward. Dest brings it down, immediately pressured. Gets a throw out of it.
Well, let's see if that last attack for the United States gives them a bit of confidence to continue and go. The thing that I saw in that sequence was just the braveness in possession, willing to take the ball under pressure. Good patience, waiting, working that English defense, forcing those wingers. There's Raheem Sterling to your left side of the screen. He's having to track back all the way inside 18 yards from his own goal. That's where you want him instead of 20 yards from your goal down the other end of the field as Anthony Robinson wins a foul for a push from Trippier.
And it might have been a break for the U.S. the other way. It looked like Jesus Valenzuela had his mind made up. He was going to blow the whistle and didn't wait just to see because Robinson was, even as he was tripped up.
I'm actually surprised that's not a yellow. for a tactical foul.
First World Cup game for this referee. Experience at the Copa America, the South American Championships, and at last year's Olympics. Yeah, these are big moments for referees too, and how they handle the biggest game of their lives is always an interesting storyline. Weston McKennie, a little bit of space as Rice is backing off. Way of making a big run. McKennie's going to drive inside. Trying to find Pulisic, and has Pulisic with Robinson outside of him. Anthony Robinson has it now. Into the middle for Weston McKennie. Forced back. Able to recover it for Robinson. Space and time. Looks to go back to Yunus Musah. Des making a big run. Musah deflected shot and run at Jordan Pickford, his first save of the night.
Weston McKennie's starting to come to life in this game now. He's forcing Sterling to defend, and when he's not, he breaks in the team forward, breaks past that English midfield. They get the ball out wide left. It comes back to Musah. He had a good run from Serginho Dest at the far side, but he opted for the shot with power. Takes a deflection, and that allowed Jordan Pickford to comfortably save that one. The USA chant starting to build inside. The U.S. supporters like what they've seen the last couple of minutes.
Rice able to look off way up, opening up wide for Shaw. Shaw able to find Mount, poked away by Dest. Turner's going to come get him.
He wants to go, and then opts to slow it up a little bit.
You can see on Turner, it is much warmer here than it has been at the other stadiums we've certainly been at. Tyler Adams talked about, you know, these guys are used to, most of them, playing in pretty cold conditions this time of year in England or elsewhere. Plus a lot of extra stoppage time, more than they're used to. So fitness has been a concern across this World Cup. That's going to be a foul now. Is that going to be a yellow card? So it looked like Musah had a chance to get off on the run. He's down in some pain. Tyler Adams arguing with the referee.
What a little flick from Pulisic around the corner. Had a look. Oh, that should be a yellow as well. So that's a late tackle from Stones. Yunus Musah had gotten there first. He flicked it away from him. There was no defenders behind Stones there on this near left side, at least. So the referee's being pretty cautious with the cards so far.
No England players were shown a yellow card in their opening game. There are 4 Americans in total, 3 on the field, that were shown a yellow against Wales. If they get yellows tonight, they would be suspended for the next game against Iran. So we played half an hour at Al Bayt Stadium, Al Khor, Qatar. No score between England and the United States, the one we've been looking forward to since the draw on the 1st of April. England, who thumped Iran 6-2 on Monday. Bit of a tougher fight tonight, and a frustrated U.S. team as that gets whistled for a foul.
On Weston McKennie. Now, McKennie is one of those players for the U.S. that is on a yellow card from the first game, as well as Serginho Dest. I don't see much of a foul. They're both got hands on each other. And it's Mount at the end. Of course, McKennie's got his hands up. No pressure on Trippier here, backing off.
Trippier crossing it in. Zimmerman was there. Right to the second ball. Trippier cleans it up. Maguire loose touch, able to recover. Pickford going long for Sterling. Dest rises up to win the header. McKennie flicks it along right in a wrestling match with Rice. Adams bouncing off Mount. McKennie spins it around. Weston McKennie on the run. He's got the speed on Declan Rice if he wants to go. McKennie turns it up, crosses back. Yunus Musah, can he get under control? How about Pulisic? Christian Pulisic now takes it off the top of the crossbar. No touch from Pickford. It's a goal kick. Pulisic inches away.
Well, if you heard about the swagger and the flair of this young team, look no further than Weston McKennie right now. Big-time player, turns up in big-time games. Gets it out wide. Christian Pulisic wants his moment, but pretty quiet. Is that defender's in front of him? He gets a half yard of space on the left foot, and that is a laser at that near post. Does Pickford get a touch on this? No, it doesn't. It just comes straight off the crossbar, up and over. I see a U.S. team right now that is confident on the ball, comfortable in possession, driving back, forcing this English team to defend.
Off the bounce, Ream. That's going to be whistled as a foul as Kane goes down. And you can be confident all you want. It's an England team got to the semi-final of the last World Cup, got to the final of the European Championship a year and a half ago. They've been in these fights before.
And this has actually been a theme of the past couple of goal kicks. I think the United States are dropping too deep. England are forcing them back, but you could draw them offside, or at least come further and make them then come from behind you on long set pieces, long free kicks. It'll be interesting what England do here. This one's a central ball. We'll see who they line up. It's a little too far out for a direct strike.
Because the criticism of England over the last year is they don't score enough from open play. It's because they're scoring so many goals from set pieces.
I mean, they've got Harry Maguire. Look at the top, the right of your screen right now. That's who Trippier is looking at. I would imagine they're going to try to get him running in behind and maybe look for him on that first one and have guys crashing the box. Here's Bellingham on the near side. But this is definitely something they've worked on. You don't just have three guys standing over the ball. There you go.
Taking short, Trippier looking for Maguire. And Dest played that. Turner was coming to get it. Wright just gets it clear. A big run from Stones out of the back. Maguire couldn't get it off to him. And Stones a long run back there, number 5, to get in position and pick it up from Pickford. Iran, that was for 95 minutes, looking pretty good for the U.S. Draw would have been the best result. Wayne Hennessy got sent off. The Wales goalkeeper. Iran scoring twice deep into stoppage time. Latest regulation winner in World Cup history. So here's a live look at the standings. If it finishes tied, that's where the U.S. would be. All they have to do is go and beat Iran, and they advance on Tuesday. If they win, a tie against Iran would be enough. If the U.S. loses, they'd have to beat Iran and hope that Wales doesn't go crazy in a win over England. A lot to go between now and then. Here come England. Shaw hands it off. It's Mount out there. Cuts away from Dest. Cross in. Popped in the air by Zimmerman. Second ball up in the air. Sterling battling. McKennie late to react. Shaw has it now. Back in for Mount. Clips it up in the back post. Turner there in front of Kane.
Look for Pulisic here on the quick one.
Wanting to go quick. Pulisic on the end of it. And Stones does just enough.
Well, what a great run from Pulisic. He's the one that initiates that ball from Matt Turner. Takes off on a dead sprint as soon as Turner comes out and grabs that cross. And it gets your team all the way up the field into the defensive half of England off of some defensive pressure for the United States.
Clever by one of the England players warming up beside their bench to kick the ball back on the field and not allow the U.S. to go quickly with the throw as they...
There's no friends on that field. Once you cross that white line, there's no friendships.
Musa on the turn. Has Robinson making a big run. Can he find him? No. Saka knocks it in the middle, but it's picked up great first touch by Tim Weah. He's hauled to the ground by Mount. Advantage being played by the referee. Robinson, Pulisic, they're shouting for a handball. It is a handball. Promising moment, too. All right, what do you make of this?
Well, I felt that England started the game the better of the two teams. They had the possession. They had the United States under pressure. It took the U.S. a little bit to figure out how to get into that game, and they used the ball incredibly well. A couple of those transitions that we've seen from defense to attack, getting up the field, putting England back a little bit. and then under some pressure there, that's when they've engaged around the midfield line. So I would say this game's really evened up.
Quick throw in, right, trying to sneak in behind. That was Maguire alert to the danger. He's able to get it clear. McKennie, great control, able to find Tyler Adams, holding off the pressure from behind, splits two England defenders, trying to cut him back in. The U.S. will get a throw. Serginho Dest comes to take it, born and raised in the Netherlands. His dad in the U.S. military. Same story for Weston McKennie.
Looks like they're going to go with a long throw from Weston McKennie. They're going to bring up Walker Zimmerman from the back. One of the
He's using the photographer's bib there to dry his hands to get good
Full
firm grip. His dad was in the Air Force. He bounced around as a kid. Here he is on the field for the U.S. Weston McKennie. And his long throw in doesn't get the flick. It goes straight up in the air. Wright first to react. Haji Wright looking to turn, still Wright cutting it back, and that will be a U.S. corner, the first of the night.
Well, great use of his body from Haji Wright. He was the target on the throw-in, so it comes to him, it pops up, and then he gets his body in front. You're not going to try to win that ball if you're an English defender. You don't want to give away a penalty, and then ultimately get a touch on it, it's a corner.
Greg Berhalter said it bugs him. They haven't been more effective on set pieces. But he insisted Christian Pulisic has it in him to deliver quality service. Said, just take a breath, slow down, get your fundamentals right. In it comes. Sent out by Maguire.
And that was a good ball. Pulisic's a little frustrated, actually, at the end of that. He put that right around the penalty spot. And he still looks.
Dest was whistled there for the foul. It was wrapping up Raheem Sterling there in the opinion of the referee. Pulisic still frustrated about it. Trippier has a big run coming forward from Mount, comes back in for Kane, and Adams, who was right in the passing lane. Musa picks it up. Wright wanted it. Pulisic wants it now. It'll be Dest instead. Back for Yunus Musa. Good step by Maguire. Chance for Musa to run it behind. It's going to go wide for Tim Weah. Weah to the byline. His cross lifted in. Too far for Pulisic. Robinson, dead sprint.
Oh, he doesn't need to dive in there. Robinson tries to win it and doesn't. It's opened up the game a little bit for England.
Kane gets it away from Mount. U.S. scrambling a bit right now. Saka, great touch around Adams. And then that pass overhit. And Way is there to get that. Can he accelerate the other way and turn this thing into a real track meet? Not quite. What's the decision here? U.S. throw.
The assistant referee hesitated. He wasn't quite sure. It ends up white, blue, blue. U.S. throw.
And it is definitely warmer and more humid here in this building than it has been the last few nights. You can see the U.S. player's Dest there again, just trying to wipe off his hands for the throw. How about the flick from Wright? That was Way, in fact. It's Dest now. Pulisic's in the middle. Serginho Dest, deflected shot, and will spin out wide for a U.S. corner.
No, I don't mind that from Serginho Dest. Great back heel from Tim Weah, opens it up, and now he's running at the back line. So Haji Wright's making the run inside. They're matched up. He likes that matchup against Harry Maguire. And he gets him off balance, comes onto his weaker left foot, but we've seen him score with that one. And Harry Maguire, give him credit, does a good job. It looked like for a minute there he was beat. Gets the right foot out. Deflection, corner United States.
Dest scored against Costa Rica last year in qualifying. That same kind of play on that left foot. Pulisic now, in swinging ball with his right foot. Second U.S. corner. Pulisic. No one anywhere near it, though, in blue.
There's nobody crashing around that 6-yard box, getting across the first man. Again, Pulisic beats the first man, and that's where you would expect the United States having guys getting around. They can't get away from their marks right now.
McKennie from Zimmerman for Musa. Now Pulisic turning and running. Weah for Haji Wright. Pulisic wants it back. Wright holds it. Sterling fronts him. He's got Dest for support. Numbers up here for the U.S. Dest crossing in. Pulisic's header! Flashing wide.
Well, there's a chance for Haji Wright to play him in first time, and the U.S. fans responding. English fans, not so much. It ends up coming off his shoulder. Pulisic, he's trying to redirect. It's another one. It's a difficult one because the trajectory of the ball. He's coming back. He's up in the air. He can't generate power to really test the goal of Pickford. He had McKennie right behind him as well.
Tyler Adams told us yesterday he's made a name for himself being a difference maker. We need to get the best out of him. But he said the way he's playing, the way he's training, the way he's competing, he's had his best right now. Christian Pulisic. Adams in a wrestling match with Mount that he loses. Sterling picks it up and bodies off Dest. Saka couldn't get cleanly through. Ream, though, taken right back by Trippier. Bellingham, oh, he had the run there of Mount. Shaw crossing in. Matt Turner's there.
Look, we expected this game to be tight, and it's had its swings and blows, and you're talking about a boxing match. Well, England were punching first, United States defending, then they've swung back with a couple of jabs, and they're the team that looks like they're capable of throwing that heavy blow back to England as that one goes out from Robinson. But we have seen this story throughout this tournament when a team has been on top, and maybe a team that's perceived inferior like the United States, but they don't take their chance when they are in top, when they have the momentum. And then England, one chance, one goal. So the key for the U.S. coming into the second half, if this ends scoreless, is that if they can continue to have pressure and some chances on goal, is finding that incisive moment and that moment of quality before England deliver that knockout blow.
Bellingham sneaking in behind of Tyler Adams. Bellingham crossing in. Dest is there. Shaw looking to reset quickly for Sterling. Dest read the play well, couldn't take it away, gets nutmeg. Shaw into the box, the cross, and that was enough behind Bukayo Saka that he couldn't turn it on frame.
Oh, what great play. Luke Shaw. I think he ends up nutmegging Serginho Dest. A little flick behind the back. It was right before that. Tim Weah, again, in a similar situation, wants to make the challenge, but can't because he doesn't want to give away a penalty. He's a step behind. Who's there making the challenge, though? Anthony Robinson coming all the way over from the left side to run with Saka, who had started on the right, made that run to the front post, and Anthony Robinson not taking a play off there.
We'll have one added minute here at 45 before the break. Kane able to pick it up and hold off Adams. Bellingham on the turn, opens it up wide. Here's Shaw once again, in for Sterling, trying to find the run of Mount. Turner the save. First save tonight from Matt Turner, and an important one in first half stoppage. Timeout for a corner.
The life of the goalkeeper. Matt Turner, his really involvement in this game has been crosses coming out, gathering them. But you have to have an ability, the best goalkeepers, to make the big saves. Matt Turner's shot stopping up there with some of the best in the world, and he does there, down to his right. His feet are set, it's quick reactions, gets two hands on it and palms it behind for a corner. That's the last, you need to stay dialed in here. This is gonna be the last action of this half. It's very important you stay with your mark.
Trippier to take. Trippier swings it in. Turner, good solid catch in traffic. And the referee will send the teams to the break. Rob Stone, back to you at our corny set. 45 minutes down, 45 to go at Albait Stadium. No score between the United States and England.
The 2022 FIFA World Cup halftime show on Fox is presented by Verizon. 10
In the afternoon in Hershey, Pennsylvania, hometown of Christian Pulisic. He left home as a 16-year-old to begin his professional career in Germany. He was so young when he started playing for the United States that he came back for his high school prom the night before becoming the youngest goal scorer in U.S. team history. Got a private jet to fly him back to Kansas City for the game, though, because he was already a pro. And the U.S. immediately on the attack now. Anthony Robinson, chance to cross. Extra recycle to Tyler Adams. Yunus Musa, big first touch. Resets wide. Anthony Robinson trying to clip that one in. That was Rice to send it back out for a U.S. throw.
Well, Jude Bellingham felt that he was fouled by Weston McKennie there, and the referee decided to play on. And the United States working the ball well, good patience in possession. Musa at the heart of it this time gets the ball wide to Anthony Robinson, and the U.S. have won a throw on that left side.
No changes for either side of the break. Will we see Gio Reyna? Will we see Brendan Aronson? Who else might come off the bench for the Americans? Robinson back from Adams, and we'll do it again. England certainly have a wealth of attacking talent they can call upon off the bench. McKennie chesting that back out. Pulisic picking it up. Forced all the way back.
Bit of an errant pass. It was thankfully under hit from Zimmerman. It ends up being the right decision because Serginho Dest was under pressure. It was good pressure from Mason Mount in the middle of the field, and it just allowed, by using your goalkeeper as an extra defender there in possession, to relieve some of that pressure.
England clinched their spot in the next round with a win. U.S. can't clinch a spot. They can't be eliminated. They know it'll come down to Tuesday against Iran, who got 2 goals in deep stoppage time earlier today against Wales. But again, this result, A, gives them a sense of how much margin for error they have Tuesday. B, it's England. It's the World Cup. Just beat them. Who cares? Turner couldn't get enough on that. Zimmerman stabs it back the other way. Weah couldn't bring it cleanly under control.
So I've noticed in possession for the United States, when they're a little bit deeper and it's with their center backs on the ball, they're stepping aggressively when Walker Zimmerman's in possession. Tim Ream, the more comfortable of the two of them in possession with his ability with his feet and also his passing. But as soon as the ball went to Zimmerman, the last 2 times, Mason Mount released from the midfield and went out to get pressure on him and forced the United States backwards. I'm interested to see if England continue to bring some of that pressure, not liking how U.S. were able to spread them about and keep the ball.
Here in Trippier on the run, hands off to Bukayo Saka, scored twice in the 6-2 win over Iran, and they're open. Great work, Anthony Robinson, falling back in the seat of his pants, able to intercept and get it clear. Pulisic on the run, Haji Wright in front of him. Can he roll it? Haji Wright like he rolled in Tim Way on Monday. Here's Wright cutting back. Wright blocked. McKennie picks it up. McKennie up over the bar into the stands.
Well, good defending 1v1 from England. Again, I just think that Haji Wright had the opportunity here to slip in Pulisic with a run. His run in the middle of the field. No, it's the right decision in the end. England did a good job of stepping out. Pulisic would have been offside. I thought that there was a gap there. It wasn't. It's amazing. Makes me remember being back down on the field and how easy it looks from up here in our position and how quickly the game moves when you're on the field. And those gaps, they look big. They're actually not. These are half-second decisions that you have to make.
Jenny Taff, what did Greg Berhalter just have to tell you?
Well, it's great to catch up with Greg briefly, John, and I asked him about what he's liking with the offensive transition. He said, I believe we're getting them playing back a bit, but the biggest thing, we have to be smart and capitalize on those key moments. I felt like we had them, and the way we ended the half was really our best. I kept hearing from the guys how important it is to stay locked in. That came from Tyler Adams, and that the first punch, we have to land it.
Here's Saka now for England. Trippier. In for Sterling now, popping up on the right, cuts Adams back. Robinson steps in.
Terrific. Anthony Robinson just doing some of the unheralded defensive work. He is a left defender. You see him in the attack sometimes. He has an incredible engine. He can run all day. But still, that recognition in that moment, the anticipation of a play, seeing that a guy had stepped out of a position, getting back and recovering for teammates.
It's a foul there. And to go back to Berhalter's comments to Jenny, again, those are themes from the Wales game on Monday. Berhalter telling us yesterday, we had him where we wanted him. We needed that second goal. He said before the tournament, we just have to be decisive in those key little moments. There's such fine margins between teams at a World Cup. Can the U.S. do what they were unable to do against Wales? Play that complete 90 minutes and find a way to win.
Yeah, that's going to be a theme. We'll continue to talk about that throughout the rest of this game because the intensity of this game is so high.
Here's Mount. Adams blocks it, gets back to it. Pulisic, can the U.S. escape? Musa's running. Pulisic. Ball stayed in play, just barely. And a U.S. throw. Pulisic wanted to go quick, and Musa was saying, no, let's slow it up. Can Yunus Musa be decisive? Grew up in England, born in the United States, played for England at youth level, including once against the U.S. at U17 level. And as that one goes past desk, Gareth Southgate a couple of years ago and even yesterday sort of lamenting that Yunus Musa, he's not playing for England in this game, but is playing for the U.S. instead. Weah blocked at. Musa picks it up. Pulisic wants it now. Anthony Robinson, big run forward. Pulisic didn't see him, and he gives it away. And now Robinson's got to get back because Saka's attacking that space. Adams slides across. Bukayo Saka. Adams.
Wow, what a tackle. Remember talking about Tyler Adams and covering for teammates? It was a giveaway in midfield. Anthony Robinson doing the right thing, though. He had gotten forward. The U.S. had possession, but when the ball turned over, there was a huge gaping gap. Who recognized it first? It was Tyler Adams, 30-yard sprint to get over and make that sliding challenge in his own box.
I saw the captain there barking at his teammates about it. Maguire took a deflection. Now can the U.S. go into that space? Weah not going to catch up to that one.
This game is just so tight. It just feels like it's going to be a mistake that leads to an opportunity that opens the game up. Somebody just has that one little half second, makes the wrong decision, steps out of a hole, and gets punished for it.
Pressure there from Adams. Wright was pressuring. England able to keep it. In for Kane. Got the touch. Ream was there late. Miscontrolled. Zimmerman. And Matt Turner. Well, that's what being at Arsenal a few months will do. Confidence on the ball. McKennie quickly for Weah. Maguire went flying in. Big collision there with Shaw. No foul called. Tim Weah is down.
And they're going to play on. Because it's not a head injury, England under no obligation to play the ball out, although they do, showing some good sportsmanship here. Jordan Pickford putting the ball out. Ooh. Yeah, Shaw's late in there.
Does it feel to you like this referee is just trying to stay out of the way tonight? Because there's been a couple of those.
I'd be curious what Mark Clattenburg, our rules analyst, has to think about this one, because Shaw is late, and there's the studs above the ankle there, Mark.
At least 2 occasions in the first half where England players could have had yellow cards. The referee's been lenient, he's been consistent. As long as he's the same for the US, nobody will complain at the end. Let's not hope that we're talking about a refereeing decision at the end of this game.
Mark, do you not think that rises to the level of a yellow, though, that challenge?
Certainly is, because if you put your studs anywhere on the foot or just below on the ankle, you'll always get a yellow card, but the referee didn't see it that way.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe the deflection of the ball, he didn't see it in real time. And, of course, if the VAR, the video review, doesn't feel that it rises to the level of red and worthy of a review, they're not going to go and review that for a yellow. So I think that is, I agree with you, Mark, that should have been another yellow. I could count at least 2 now that I think England should have had.
England able to keep it under this U.S. pressure. Shaw gets around McKennie. Kane skips away from Adams. Here's Mason Mount. Forced that great save out of Matt Turner in the first half. See Rice there. Just
he was looking to I have no options, and that's because it feels like it's gotten a little stale, and the movement not there that you saw in the first half from England when they were moving the ball sharp. That's a good spot there from Saka.
Trippier out to the right. Blocked by Robinson as he was trying to go in for Bellingham.
It's the pass they're trying to find, though, in that little seam behind the midfield, in front of the defense, off to the side of the U.S. midfield, and getting those wingers who end up coming inside and playing as inside midfielders a little bit of time and space. That's why the width here is with Luke Shaw on this left side.
Stones has the big run from Trippier. Didn't get enough on it. Pulisic heads it away. Second time in. Kane couldn't hold it up. Pulisic now, can he get on the run? Poked away from behind by Saka, but that's a foul and a free kick for the U.S.
Creeping up on the clock, John, and this is where you start to think as a coach about some substitutions. We have talked so much about how expanded rosters at the World Cup for the first time, going from 23 to 26, 5 subs going up from 3, and how coaches have used that to their advantages in second half to really make a big difference. Doesn't always have to be tactical, but sometimes getting some front legs in there and different ideas can open a game out. It's a good ball finding Musa.
Musa cross for Weston McKennie. Numbers coming in for the U.S. Rolled in now. Tim Weah cutting it back. Didn't find Musa. Bellingham got there in time. Ream charging forward on Kane. Adams wins the foot race to the loose ball and plays safe to Turner.
That's good from Tim Ream. As that ball comes out, they're looking for Harry Kane. Tim Ream playing very aggressively up on his back, wins the ball, and forces Kane not to have any time, and they win it back.
Gio Reyna amongst the players warming up right now as Dest almost gave that away to Raheem Sterling, able to recover it. Almost gave it away a second time. It sort of got loose on him there. What's that like in a player to play in a game like this where in the back of your head you're going, please don't let it be me that makes the mistake?
This is where you find out who's a lion and who's a sheep.
Pulisic, how about that? Driving inside, Christian Pulisic! And did that take a deflection? Yes, it did. U.S. corner number 3 of the game.
Because if you allow yourself to think about making the mistake, you're going to make the mistake. This is why this team, you ride that wave of momentum and confidence. You know who's feeling confident? Christian Pulisic and the U.S. fans right now.
Pulisic driven in for oh, that was Zimmerman. It looked like a free header. Maguire got there first, and then a foul on Musa trying to control it on the other side.
Maguire has been a magnet back there on these set pieces. This is another good ball in from Pulisic. It comes inside the 6-yard box. You're going to see Jordan Pickford rooted to his line, and it's Zimmerman gets free. A little pick from Tim Ream that opens up the space. He's able to get away from John Stones completely free at the back post. He's looking to hammer that one home, and it's Maguire backpedaling, getting just enough out to head it away.
Maguire long, Robinson wins the header. Adams the second ball, Pulisic off the chest. Robinson picks it up on the run. Stones trying to recover. Robinson's cross. Here we go again, another U.S. corner. The England players look confused right now.
Well, Pulisic is walking to the crowd. Look at that little nod. Look at that. He's waited for this moment his whole life. Missed out on 2018, was a part of that team that did not qualify. Well, it's his time to shine on the big stage, and he's waiting for his marquee moment.
Here it comes in at the near post, popped in the air by Maguire. Second ball from Ream. McKinney attacking, beaten in the air by Shaw. Adams picks it up. Pulisic, big touch. Kane is there.
From another corner.
U.S. knocking on the door right now.
You talked about the service. It's been good. They're dialing it right in. I'm surprised Pickford not being more aggressive and allowing the U.S. to get right on top of him.
.30 minutes to go. Pulisic once in. It was Maguire spun around. Musa, Ream. He'll reset for Pulisic. Got himself back on side. Pulisic thinking about it. Couldn't get around Harry Kane. Picks his pocket from behind. Way slow to react. And Tim Ream. That's going to work. U.S. can go from this. Weah. Across for Yunus Musa.
Slowing it down to reset their attacking shape. When you're up from a corner, coming back, you've got guys all over the place, and that's the experienced head of Tim Ream there, 35 years old, just putting a foot on the ball, getting Zimmerman back, getting Serginho Dest out to the right, and now resetting their shape.
Dest here from Adams. That was making a big run, wanted the ball from Zimmerman. Comes short to Dest instead. He's got space to run into. Dest cutting it around. Here's Pulisic. Deflected shot, almost fell for right. Might still. Trippier had to slide across to head it away. Sterling into the space. Adams there. Takes the bump. Gets a free kick for the U.S.
Great work from Adams. England are reeling right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see Gareth Southgate make a sub here and freshen it up for them. Greg Berhalter's thinking about the same, but when it's going this well for you and you're on top, you don't want to change too much. Playing it short. It's actually England's inability to get pressure on the ball right now. They look tired. There was a lot of tired legs, and they're the fresher of the two teams in theory because they had the easier game in the first one against Iran where they ran the score up 6-2 and made a lot of subs.
Right, can he get there? Who's at last off corner? U.S. sixth of the game.
So a little conversation right now. Weston McKennie and Christian Pulisic off the ball as he makes his way over. I wonder if Pulisic, he's put some good balls in, maybe thinking about, hey, somebody get a body on Harry Maguire. Run in front of him so he doesn't have just time and space to get that free jump and header.
And notice McKennie relaying whatever message that was for Ream and Zimmerman and Musa.
And look where McKennie's going right now. He's going right behind Harry Maguire. So he's right behind him with his hands up, signaling to the referee, I'm not going to touch him, but he's just trying to make his life a little bit more difficult here.
Pulisic drives it in. Pickford scrambling. Got a touch to it. We'll do it again from the other side.
Everybody drawn to the nearer post, and Pickford had to be sure. He had nobody there, though. It's a tough one. Sometimes you're, as a goalkeeper, do you take that chance? Do you leave it if you didn't have a look? Every chance Pulisic's getting. He's trying to get this crowd and the U.S. fans behind that goal on their feet.
England didn't defend a single corner against Iran in the blowout win. This is the 7th they've had to defend tonight. Pulisic out swinging ball. Headed away. Dest trying to hold it in. Sterling draws the foul.
Yeah, you can't foul there. He's trying to say there wasn't enough contact, and you know that's debatable, but you give the referee the chance to make the call. He's going back to his own goal. You've had that maintained pressure. The whistle goes, and it just allows England to move up the field and relieve that momentum that the United States have been building there.
So here comes the first sub for England. Jordan Henderson, the veteran, 32 years of age, didn't play in the opener. It's his 3rd World Cup. It's going to be coming on. Gareth Southgate insisted we have a lot of respect for the United States. We're not going to underestimate them. We know their players, their quality, their athleticism, how motivated they'll be. His countrymen did not necessarily share that opinion. 25 minutes plus stoppage time to go and no score.
Another subject, Grealish as well, potentially. He's trying to change up the front line and also bring in another midfielder. It tells you where the United States have been dominating, right in the middle of the field.
Bellingham on Ream, got it away for Kane. Adams was alert. Ream can't play the outlet, held in by Rice. Harry Kane, look at a turn, rolls it in. Saka's cross. Turner, comfortable catch. Wants to go quick. Weston McKennie. He's got to weave his way through the traffic first, unable to do so. Rice blocked him off.
Oh, he did well, really, though, to be able to get past that double teaming of England.
Robinson gets there. So 2 subs in the wings for England. Grealish came off the bench to score against Iran. Henderson will make his debut here in Qatar. McKennie for Tim Weah. Can he get it under control? Musa just trying to spin that around. It just sort of ran off him. Allowed Rice to clear. There, that was dragging on Tim Ream, and he's just forced to play safe, and U.S. possession ends. And here come the changes. Sterling's night is done. Jude Bellingham as well. So we're from a 19-year-old to a 32-year-old in the middle of the field. Grealish at the age of 27, it's his first World Cup.
Quiet night from Jude Bellingham. Saw him in flashes in the first half when England had a lot of possession, and now you're seeing Jordan Henderson, who's been a captain for his club in Liverpool. He's been a captain at times for England. Has got clear instructions from his coach and Gareth Southgate. He's coming on now, relaying that to the other players about what we'll see, and we'll get a look at in a minute, of the change of tactics potentially for this English team.
Saka driving inside, got a big run from Henderson, gave the space for Shaw. Grealish outside, Shaw's cross for Kane, met instead by Ream. Henderson able to keep it and reset. And the England fans starting to roar as they get a boost with these subs. Henderson buzzing around. It comes inside for Saka. Harry Kane, Ream defending. Saka runs off him. Musa blocked the pass. Able to play Pulisic there. Pulisic runs for daylight. Couldn't make the connection with Weah.
The first clear difference I see in what Jordan Henderson has done twice in 2 minutes. He's made runs behind the back line through that little gap between the left back Anthony Robinson and left center back Tim Ream, and that twice has freed up Saka, who's come a little bit underneath. So Gareth Southgate clearly feeling they were failing to stretch this United States back line and force them to defend back a little bit, which has opened up some space. It was too comfortable for them right now with these tight lines, keeping the ball in front, but they're starting to stretch. Mason Mount doing the same.
Grealish, first touch since coming on. He's going to run it. Serginho Dest. McKennie for cover. Grealish weaving through. McKennie got to be careful with that tackle. Weah lost his footing, got back up, kept the ball. All right, does the U.S. need to do something to adjust to this? That's going to be a foul there. Haji Wright drew the contact off McGuire. That's big for the U.S. 20 minutes to go just to relieve the pressure.
I would say you counter back with some fresh legs. And as we say that, here comes Brendan Aronson over to the bench. Speaking of fresh legs and energy, that's what he brings you. Good possession player as well. It's going to be interesting to see who it's for. Is it Weston McKennie? Because, of course, we have to remember, as good of a game as he's having, he's still short on match fitness. Had missed around a month with his club team. His game, the last one against Wales, was his first game in that stretch. He was subbed out around the same time.
Turno's a little bit unsure there. Adams under some pressure, gets rid of it. Test, great control. He's got an option to play it in behind. Takes the touch himself, tackles through the ball. And no signal either way from the officials. It will be a throw for England as Dest is slow to get up.
You also wonder if it maybe could be Haji Wright. We'll find out in a minute. Maybe play Brendan Aronson through the middle. Or Tim Weah.
Chance for players on both sides to get some hydration. It's warm here tonight, warmer than it's been so far in this tournament. It's not an official hydration break per se, it just is sort of acting as such, and here we go again. So Brendan Aronson will be coming on at the next opportunity for the U.S. Grealish fouled by Dest. Grealish from out. Trying to return it. Nutmeg Zimmerman with the pass. Grealish, the cross. Kane poked away. That was Weston McKennie. Weah couldn't get it under control. Stabbed away by McGuire. Reset quickly for Grealish from Mount. Grealish couldn't play that pass in. Anderson resets for Shaw. Still Brendan Aronson waits to come on. In for Kane. Ream defending him. Trying to get some pressure out on Henderson. Stones all the way through. Lisic's making the run. Can Zimmerman find him? It's lofted up. Weah trying to flick and couldn't. Adams picks up the second ball. Weston McKennie has it now. In for Pulisic, and he was bodied off it.
Yeah, tough take. It's tough to take it in that little pocket when you've got three defenders surrounding you.
Now Grealish weaving his way through. Now directing traffic. Shaw for company. Back for Rice. Had a big run from Henderson. He's been all over the place since coming on as a sub. Still Aronson waits to come on. Quarter hour to go at Albait Stadium. The United States has never played a scoreless draw in a World Cup match. 34 prior games in World Cup history without a 0-0, more than any other team in the competition's history. A tie suits them, though. Just gives them that little bit more comfort. They don't need to worry at all if this finishes a tie about what happens in the game between Wales and England. It's win and you're in against Iran in that case. On Tuesday, Saka turns inside of Musa. And for Henderson, picked up instead by Trippier. Jordan Henderson quickly in for Saka. Great control. That one was moving. And the U.S. does enough. Musa and Robinson combined, but they're pinned back right now. Wright couldn't do anything with it. Pulisic beaten to the second ball. Mount for Harry Kane, thinking about the shot, is trying to bait in the defender Ream. Loose touch from Saka. Great play by Ream.
It's offside initially, yeah.
Offside anyway, U.S. free kick.
Now the U.S. get to make a sub. But Brendan Aronson was waiting for about, I don't know, 10 minutes, by the way. Let's see who it's going to be for the U.S.
22-year-old from Medford, New Jersey, in the Philadelphia area. Meteoric rise over the last couple of years from the Philadelphia Union to Salzburg to Leeds United in the Premier League. Serginho Dest is sitting down right now. You saw Marcus Rashford there preparing to come on for England. It's Weston McKennie.
Yeah, that's who we thought. And Weston McKennie won't want to come out of this game, and he's having a really good game for the United States. This is purely based on, but this is a guy that would go 120 minutes, no problem. He's still working his way back to full fitness, and it's at the point of the game now where we're talking about the 77th minute, where there's tired legs and the fine margins. With heavy legs, and when you can't get out, you can't get the pressure, and you can't get around the field, it maybe allows England to get an advantage. It actually looks like Shaq Moore as well.
We saw Yedlin come on for Dest on Monday. It'll be Shaq Moore this time, presumably. Yes, the number 2 comes up. Moore, another player. You know, Greg Berhalter, the door's never closed, and Shaq Moore was a guy that just on the outside looking in for a very long time, came back in last summer, 2.5 years between opportunities with the U.S.
I have to say, I'm a little surprised that it's Shaq Moore over DeAndre Yedlin. Yedlin, a like-for-like right back who is the only player on this roster that has World Cup experience. So Shaq Moore was a surprise inclusion for some, even on the roster, including me.
Dest frustrated that he's coming off. Saka's night is done. Marcus Rashford came off the bench to score. Hadn't been called into England for 1.5 years since the European Championship. A fan favorite, Marcus Rashford. Worth noting as well, both guys coming off. Dest and McKennie among the players that have shown a yellow card tonight, suspended Tuesday against Iran. So you're protecting them a little bit in that regard too.
Yep. And also now Greg Berhalter's changed out a fullback because England have changed out their wide players, and they've got fresh, very talented players. Marcus Rashford, Manchester United. Jack Grealish, Manchester City. 2 of the biggest clubs in the world in the English Premier League.
How about the touch from Robinson for Pulisic? The touch from Pulisic to bring it down. The immediate triple team. It's going to work. Adams picks it up. Back in for Pulisic on the turn. Pulisic, and he was trying to roll that one in, and it breaks down. Looking for Haji Wright.
He's saying there, Haji, my bad. Found a little gap. Tried to slip him in. The pass ends up coming off too heavy. Now teams have made a couple of changes. Let's see how this changes the momentum and the flow of the game, because I would say the last couple of minutes England have been on top. They've been using the ball well, albeit no team has really created a decisive and incisive opportunity in the attacking field.
And every dead ball, guys are coming over, getting hydration. As we said, it's a lot warmer and more humid here tonight than it has been any of the late kickoffs, 10 p.m. local time this week. And a quick turnaround for both teams from Monday's opener. Shaq Moore's first involvement is to foul Jack Grealish. And he's going to get a little warning from the referee for the time wasting there, throwing the ball away. Manchester City versus Nashville SC. Out there on the England left, the U.S. right. Zimmerman and Moore, 2 club teammates, the right half of the defensive line in Nashville. And you get the 2 Fulham teammates, Ream and Robinson, the left half. Mount, Zimmerman poked it away, couldn't take it. How about Brendan Aronson tracking back to win the ball? Pulisic. He's got Weah opening up, clips it over the top of the defender. Maguire sliding through, and he comes up holding the back of his left leg.
He's had a good game. Look, Harry Maguire had been the center of attention for this English national team, and its fans, heavy criticism.
In a bad way.
In a bad way, yes. Heavy criticism. Gareth Southgate stuck by him. He's been immense in the back for them.
Here's Moore now, 10 minutes to go. Shaq Moore running on, Grealish trying to recover, couldn't get a cross in. Weah. That's Kane just flying around right now. Or Henderson, I should say. Adams put a tough spot, lost the ball. Grealish from Rice. Tim Ream had to be there and was. More changes in the wings for the United States. 2 subs on the way as Mount is on the run. Adams trying to recover into the middle. That's Kane waiting for the support of Trippier. Pulisic out to defend him. Henderson, first time cross in. Turner tracking, goes up. Great catch. Great take by Matt Turner.
Turner's had an excellent game. There was some discussion about the goalkeeper position. The United States rotating between 2 keepers in World Cup qualifying. Zach Steffen, who has been at Manchester City, and Matt Turner, who was playing in MLS at the time, and in the last summer made the move to Arsenal. Greg Berhalter left Steffen off the roster, made Turner his #1, and he has been the guy in the nets, coming up with some big saves for this team.
Sargent and Reyna on the way for the U.S. Here's Moore from Pulisic. Again, elects not to cross. Moore for Weah. Aronson wants it. Aronson has it now. Weah clipping it up. Tight corners. Big tackle in there. That's going to be a foul against Moore's. Shaw was battling in the air for it. And here come the changes. Tim Weah's night is done. Weah got the goal Monday. There's Dad, George Weah, who happens to be the president of Liberia, the former World Player of the Year, 1995. Haji right off as well for Josh Sargent. That's Gio Reyna. Unique in American soccer history, the son of 2 U.S. internationals. His dad, Claudio, played 3 World Cups for the U.S., captained the U.S. at 2 of them. His mom, Danielle, played for the U.S. There's Dad in the stands.
You think he's nervous?
Mom Danielle played for the U.S. women in '93, won a couple national titles alongside Mia Hamm at North Carolina. Great to see him on the field. He's dealt with a lot of injury issues the last year and a half. So Reyna's on. Sargent, who started Monday, on for Haji Wright. 7 minutes plus stoppage time. Who can write their name into American soccer history with a winning goal against England? Robinson that got away from him. Pulisic able to get there in time. Sargent wants it down the channel. Here it comes. Doesn't find him. Good work by Shaw to read that play and intercept. Grealish tripped up, foul, free kick England.
Well, Shaq Moore gave the ball away, trying to find and force the ball down the line to the run of Sargent, and then dives in, gives away a set piece, and it's given England a chance now to bring up the big boys from the back and put some pressure on this U.S. team, which has not been under pressure in this half. There's everybody back. I wonder if actually Luke Shaw's gonna, well, he's trying to steal a little bit extra. Let's see how strict the referee is on the positioning, because that is nowhere near where the foul was. And he's probably, unless he plays it short and across, he's gonna just hook this one into the mixer right around that penalty spot. Turner's on the 6-yard box. Does he stay on his line or does he be aggressive here?
McGuire trying to sneak away from all the blue shirts. Look at the top of your screen. Running unmarked. Shaw sends it in. Ream facing his own goal, hooks it away. Pulisic needs some help. He's all by himself right now. Dump to the turf. Foul. Free kick U.S. Five minutes and change to go.
Well, the change has been a lot of change in this tournament, that being the number that we see when it comes to added time. Very interesting, because we haven't really had much injury stoppages. There's been a couple of fouls. As we know, they're trying to play true time.
Big question was whether the U.S. could hang with England. Well, they've done that. Now the next question is, can they beat England? So McGuire out-muscles Sargent for that header. Kane throws his body in on Adams, who's trying to recover. Tyler Adams able to hook it away, but it's right to Grealish.
And look, the way I see this, with the Iran win earlier in the day, the U.S. are going to have to beat Iran either way to advance to the next stage. So I know a draw takes Wales out of the picture effectively when you don't have to worry about the other game, but why not go for it here? You've got probably 5 plus another 5 or 6 minutes, and they will within reason, but I don't know, it feels like they have nothing to lose.
Aronson knocks it out. 4 minutes plus stoppage time. The furrowed brow of Gareth Southgate, the England manager. Sargent couldn't wedge it away from Kane. He's hacked down behind the play. It's play on as Rashford has it. He'll hand it off for Grealish. Jack Grealish cutting inside of Shaq Moore. The back heel. Rashford with options. Going for goal. Matt Turner comfortable. This is the second save of the night.
Look, whatever happens, I think if you're watching this U.S. team for the first time, you should be proud of what you've seen. The conversation in England was about how many goals they were going to beat the U.S. team by. Some of the most renowned pundits and former players talking about this. This is the third youngest team at the tournament, the United States. And they have stood in the face of England. They've traded blows. They've hit the crossbar. They might still have a chance to go and win this thing.
Aronson weaving through. Musa. Robinson wants it wide if he can find an angle. Comes back the other side for Adams. Giorena's first touch. Rides inside of Grealish, and he was the wrong side of Sargent. Shaw down behind the play for England as McGuire carries forward. Zimmerman in a foot race with Harry Kane, but he's able to clean it up for Turner. Turner trying to go quick for more, get the U.S. back going. 2 minutes plus stoppage time. Turner will dribble out of his own box.
Oh my goodness, Matt Turner's feeling it, huh?
Here's Musa in space from Robinson. Josh Sargent. Sargent cuts it in. Pulisic wants it. Pulisic has it. Pulisic. Aronson, it was meant for more. Finds him after all. Shaq Moore into the middle, intercepted. It was meant for Reina.
That had to come in first time. Gap had gone.
Safe.
Yeah, when he gets the ball wide, England are still getting back, defending towards their own goal, and as soon as Shaq Moore takes that touch, it allowed everybody to get back and then step out. He's trying to cut it back.
'90th minute. Henderson flying forward. Zimmerman. Back for Turner. Here comes the press. Ream. Got it away. Pulisic. Robinson. Popped up in the air. Henderson. Back from Rashford. We'll play 4 added minutes. 4-minute stoppage time to come as England win a free kick. Played quickly, ball's back in play. Henderson clipping it up to the back post. More plays safe. England with a corner as we go into second half stoppage time.
Let's see who's marking Harry Maguire now, because when you make subs, marks change. It's Josh Sargent matched up against him. It'll be the same type of setup for them. It's going to be an outswinging ball. They try to drag a couple players to the near post to create some space around the corner of the 6-yard box. Setting picks for Harry Kane and Harry Maguire.
Musa marking Kane. Sargent on Maguire. Trippier, outswinging ball. Turner stays it. Hall bouncer, comfortable for Turner.
It was off the head of Maguire in the end, but good marking right on top of him, force an easy header down into the ground, and Matt Turner snares it.
3 minutes to go. Zimmerman for Aronson. Zimmerman intercepted by Grealish, trying to play Musa. Adams trying to recover. Jack Grealish forced wide. And he's fouled by Yunus Musa, and a free kick coming for England as we will cross in the 93rd minute.
Yeah, and Walker Zimmerman tries to force a pass with no pressure, tries to break the line of midfield pressure right at midfield. High-risk pass, low reward in that scenario. Then Musa makes a foul trying to recover, and you've gifted England a set piece.
It'll be Luke Shaw to take. Everybody forward for England. Everybody back for the United States. There's a debate over who's going to take it, Trippier or Shaw. They're looking to the bench for instruction. Now 90 seconds to go. Jesus Valenzuela just proactively managing the situation. As Maguire tries to start an offside position, see if he can get himself unmarked once again.
He's all the way at the back. He's going to try and curve his run.
Shaw in, header wide. Harry Kane.
Well, I'm sure a few stomachs dropped seeing that one come off the head of Harry Kane. And if you're an English fan, you're thinking this is in the back of the net. It's a good ball in. Tim Ream is with Harry Kane, and he ends up coming off the top of his head. He's trying to redirect it. Especially a man of his quality in front of goal. 51 goals for his country. You'd be disappointed not to hit the frame on that one.
Sargent out jumped. Ream sends it up the ladder, 30 seconds at least. Robinson does enough to knock it back to Ream. Turner will play safe and go long. Maguire comes over the, it's a foul, free kick for the U.S. Free kick for the U.S. with what will probably be the final action of the entire game. As Maguire came over the back there.
Yeah, you bring everybody up from the back. You still keep a couple players back, but England recognized too, this is potentially the last act in this match. Everybody back for England, trying to defend. United States, you want a good quality service here from Pulisic.
You saw Berhalter there saying, just let's be patient here, let's make sure this is going to be it. There's no time for a counter the other way. 95th and final minute of the night. Pulisic rolled ahead for Reina. Gets a throw out of it.
I'm not sure why he didn't just dump that one in the box.
That's it.
That's the whistle. What a waste at the end.
But
yes,
in saying that, the U.S. goes toe-to-toe with England. The boos rain down. It's the first shutout for the U.S. against a European team in the World Cup since 1950 against England. A lot more to debate. as we knew all along, it will come down to Tuesday in Iran.
You know, I was really impressed with the United States for 3 halves in this tournament. The bad second half against Wales. This team will take a lot of positives from this game, and they should. That is a young group, third youngest team in the tournament, toe-to-toe with England. Bring on Iran.
Let's send you back to Rob Stone and our set on the Corniche in Doha as it finishes up in Alcor. No score between the United States and England.